The biggest showbiz stories of 2022, Smith, Johnny Depp and more. The entertainment industry did not disappoint in 2022 as it made a drama-fueled comeback after 2 years of coronavirus disruption. The worlds of film, TV and music offered a deluge of headlines, from Will Smith's on-stage slap at the Oscars to a new Time Lord and an MP in the Australian jungle. With 2023 on the horizon, we look back at some of the biggest showbiz stories of the past 12 months. Ukraine wins Eurovision amid war. In May, Ukraine triumphed at the Eurovision Song Contest in Turin, Italy. Folk rap group Kalash Orchestra gave an impressive performance in spite of the Russian invasion of their country. Ukraine joined the contest in 2003 and has become one of the more successful of the newer competitors, having previously won in 2004 and 2016. UK announced as 2023 Eurovision host. After Ukraine's win, Eurovision organizer the European Broadcasting Union decided the event could not be held in the war-torn country. In July it was confirmed that the UK would host the competition next year after Sam Ryder took second place. A number of UK cities threw their hat into the ring and it was announced in October that the international music extravaganza will take place in Liverpool, with the grand final on Saturday the 13th of May. Will Smith's Oscars slap. One of the biggest stories of the year came during awards season as Smith struck Chris Rock on stage at the 94th Academy Awards in March. Smith, 54, stormed the stage during the ceremony and slapped the 57-year-old comedian over comments he made about Smith's wife Jada Pinkett Smith. In April it was announced that the actor, who had later collected the Oscar for Best Actor, had been banned from all Academy events or programs for 10 years. Ncuti Gatwa announced his latest Doctor. Last year Doctor Who fans were thrilled with the news that Russell T Davies was returning to the beloved science fiction series to serve as showrunner after leaving the show in 2009. And this year fans were treated to an even bigger surprise as it was announced in July that sex education star Ncuti Gatwa will take over from Jodie Whittaker as the Time Lord. It was later revealed that much-loved former stars of the series David Tennant and Catherine Tate will also return. Matt Hancock joins I'm a Celebrity. November marked the return of I'm a Celebrity. Get Me Out of Here to the Australian jungle after 2 years in Wales due to pandemic travel restrictions. And viewers were shocked to discover former Health Secretary Matt Hancock would be joining the lineup. The MP for West Sussex was stripped of the Tory whip after news of his participation in the ITV reality show broke. He later touched down in camp as a late entrant alongside comedian Sian Walsh. Before making it to the final, Hancock, 44, completed an array of challenges and told campmates he was looking for a bit of forgiveness after backlash over his handling of the coronavirus pandemic and his affair with former AG Nicola D'Angelo. Glastonbury returns. After a 3-year break due to the pandemic, Glastonbury Festival returned for a belated 50th anniversary event, with Billie Eilish and Sir Paul McCartney among the headline acts. The festival's return to Worthy Farm saw a number of memorable moments, including Lily Allen joining American pop sensation Olivia Rodrigo on stage, an on-screen address from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and Eilish's history-making set as she became the festival's youngest-ever solo headliner. After the 5-day event, co-organizer Emily Evis described it as surely the best one yet. Scott Mills says goodbye to Radio 1. After 24 years at BBC Radio 1, Scott Mills signed off his final show at the station in August, after enlisting Lewis Capaldi to help announce his departure in July. Mills, 49, bid a tearful farewell to his daytime show with Chris Stark, with the words "Love you, bye." Mills later launched his new show on Radio 2, where he took over from veteran host Steve Wright. Neighbours comes to an end, then returned in March. It was announced that long-running Australian soap Neighbours would end after more than 3 decades on screen, after it lost its key UK broadcast partner and failed to find alternative funding. The final episode was shown on Channel 5 in July with some of its most recognizable faces, including Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan, returning for one last goodbye. However, in an unsurprising turn of events, it was announced in November that the show was set for a revival by streaming site Amazon Freevee and production company Fremantle. A new series is to begin filming in Australia next year. Olivia Wilde served custody papers on stage. American actress and filmmaker Olivia Wilde was served legal papers on behalf of her ex-fiancé, actor Jason Sudeikis, while on stage promoting a film at CinemaCon in April. Wilde, 38, who was in a relationship with Sudeikis, 47, from 2011 to 2020, appeared surprised after opening the brown envelope she was handed. The Don't Worry Darling director, who shares 2 children with the Ted Lasso actor, later described the incident as vicious. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. One of the most high-profile court cases of recent years came as actress Amber Heard was sued by former husband Johnny Depp over a 2018 article she wrote for The Washington Post about her experiences as a survivor of domestic abuse, which his lawyer said falsely accused him of being an abuser. In June, a jury at Fairfax County Court in Virginia returned a verdict in 59-year-old Depp's favor, and he was awarded $10.3 million, £8.43 million, for damage to his reputation. Heard, 36, later sought to appeal against the verdict, arguing that it would have a chilling effect on other women. However, as the year drew to a close, Heard revealed she had made the very difficult decision to settle her multi-million-dollar U.S. defamation case against Depp. The Aquaman star said the decision was not an act of concession but an opportunity to resolve the situation on terms I could agree to. Rihanna releases first new solo music in 6 years. Rihanna fans were overjoyed in October when the Barbadian singer released her first new music since 2016 with Lift Me Up. The new track was recorded for the Black Panther sequel, Wakanda Forever, and was released 6 years after her 8th studio album Anti. Earlier in the year it was also announced that Rihanna, 34, will headline the Super Bowl halftime show in February. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck tie the knot. After announcing they had rekindled their relationship, 2022 saw the couple known as Ben Affleck tie the knot. Almost 2 decades after the stars were first engaged in November 2002 before ending their relationship in 2004, they exchanged vows at the Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas. Lopez, 53, announced the news in July on her website, on the JLO, and the couple shared a celebration with family and friends in Savannah, Georgia, which Lopez described as one of the most perfect nights of our lives. James Corden banned, and then unbanned, from New York restaurant. In October, James Corden found himself at the center of controversy after New York restaurateur Keith McNally accused him of abusive behavior towards serving staff at his Balthazar restaurant. James Corden is a hugely gifted comedian, but a tiny cretin of a man, and the most abusive customer to my Balthazar service since the restaurant opened 25 years ago, Mr. McNally wrote before announcing Corden had been banned from the venue. After receiving an apology from the Gavin and Stacey star, he rescinded the ban. Corden later addressed the incident during an episode of his The Late Late Show, saying it was never my intention to upset staff at the restaurant, but acknowledging he had been ungracious. Jeremy Clarkson faces criticism for comments about Meghan. One of the biggest stories in the year broke shortly before the year's end and involved broadcaster Jeremy Clarkson. After the release of Netflix series Harry and Meghan, the 62-year-old former Top Gear presenter wrote a column for The Sun saying he hated Meghan Markle and dreamed of her being paraded through British towns and publicly shamed. The column quickly became the Independent Press Standards organization's most complained about article. Clarkson, who attracted criticism from high-profile figures and his own daughter, later said he was horrified to have caused so much hurt and would be more careful in future. Kim Kardashian dons Marilyn Monroe dress for Met Gala. Kim Kardashian opted to wear a historic gown once worn by Hollywood superstar Marilyn Monroe to the 2022 Met Gala. The social media mogul, 42, revealed she had lost 16 pounds to fit into the iconic gown, which was on loan to her from the Ripley's Believe It or Not museum. After the exclusive event in New York, outrage was sparked online after photos posted by collector Scott Fortner appeared to show damage to the back of the gown, worn by Monroe during her famous 1962 performance of Happy Birthday to U.S. President John F. Kennedy. However, Ripley's Believe It or Not later said it was confident Kardashian did not damage the dress and the garment remained in the same condition it started in.